Are you just a little bit curious about intermittent fasting? I think it sounds kind of scary and complicated. Don't worry, I totally get you, and I was right where you are just a few months ago. We've all been hearing about this thing called intermittent fasting, and if you're like me, that sounds like something A, I don't want to participate in because I don't want to go without food, and B, it just sounds like it's something a little complicated. So in today's video, I'm just going to break it down in super simple terms. What is intermittent fasting? And let's see if maybe you want to give it a try. Hi friends, this is a much requested video from several friends who have said that they are interested in intermittent fasting, but just really weren't sure where to start, why to do it, and what the benefits are. So today I'm going to give you a brief definition in super simple terms of what the science is behind intermittent fasting, what some of the benefits are of intermittent fasting, and why you might want to give it a try. So, intermittent fasting is basically just a cycle or a routine of periods of time where you eat and periods of time where you don't eat. The periods of time where you're not eating is the fasting part, and then it's not constant, it's intermittent. So, there are periods of time where you do eat. It's not as complicated as it sounds. You don't necessarily have to combine it with any particular way of eating. Some people do combine it with, say, carnivore or keto, but that's not necessarily required. Why would this way of eating be beneficial, you might ask? And I'm glad you are. Here is a little bit of the science behind it. So when we are experiencing periods of fasting, it allows the insulin levels in our body to drop. And when the insulin levels are allowed to drop, then we're able to enter a state of ketosis, which is just a super complicated way of saying your body is switching from burning the fuel coming from the food that you're eating to burning the fat stores that are on your body, which is definitely desirable. So, what we want to do is to have periods of time where we're not eating that allows our body to experience periods of recovery. So, here are some of the benefits that come from the fasting. The most popular benefit would be fat loss. And this is something that most all of us are interested in. But the reality is, there are some other incredible benefits that come even before you start to see a difference on the scales. And that's what I want to focus on today. One of my favorite benefits is the fact that I have been experiencing more mental clarity. Being able to just concentrate without being distracted by things going on around me has been a huge blessing. You know, we all have experienced those mid afternoon, like after lunch, sluggish times when you're working and you just feel like you just can't concentrate, you can't think. And a lot of that is often due to just mental brain fog, and we all could use a break from that. Another benefit, and this is one that people who are at risk for type 2 diabetes will definitely benefit from, and that is the increase in insulin sensitivity. We want our bodies to be able to produce the amount of insulin that it needs, and we need that to be effective. So if you are at risk of type 2 diabetes, this is something that you especially benefit from. The next benefit is just overall decrease in chronic inflammation. Most of us have absolutely no idea how much inflammation we're dealing with in our bodies, but as we age, we start to feel that achiness in our joints and like in your knees and bending over. And I personally have just seen a great benefit from being able to stoop down to pick things up off the ground. Another way that fasting benefits us is in the area of our heart health. So here are some of the things that I personally have really loved about intermittent fasting. First of all, I've experienced a great reduction in just belly bloat, and I feel a lot more comfortable in my clothes and just having been practicing intermittent fasting for just 1 month. Also have noticed a great decrease in just puffiness and just overall inflammation in my face and my neck and also in my ankle. Another thing that I really love about intermittent fasting is that it does not require that I purchase any kind of shakes or powders or special pills or special diet food. I'm just eating regular food. And everybody else in our household can eat the same thing. Another thing that I really love is the fact that I'm saving so much time. We're all looking for ways to be more efficient with our time and our energy. And one of the ways that I've been able to do that is by focusing on preparing just one main meal for each day. So it's keeping me out of the kitchen a good bit, and I really appreciate that. Because we are eating fewer meals, another thing that I've enjoyed is saving money. Um, Probably about a 25% decrease in our grocery budget because we first of all cut out buying chips and snacks that are just not supportive of good health. And I'm also eliminating one meal per day. So um, that is greatly affecting the overall budget. Then also, just purely by cutting out one meal per day, even though you have an open window, you still end up consuming fewer calories. So that is one of the reasons why most people are going to experience weight loss because there is a good calorie deficit there. Now that I've shared a little bit about the benefits of intermittent fasting, you may be asking yourself, is it not just complicated? Is this something that I can do? I'm not entirely excited about skipping meals. Well, here's where I would suggest you start. First, just begin by eliminating all of the snacking between meals. We've been taught that it's good to eat multiple meals per day, 6 small meals instead of 3 meals. Well, the reality is that does not give our digestive system any sort of a break and time to recover. So, by first of all, eating your 3 meals a day and cutting out those snacks, you're on your way to beginning intermittent fasting. Once you've adjusted to not having the snacks, you start moving in the direction of giving yourself a 12-hour fast, which is not very difficult. If you have your evening meal by 7 o'clock and then you don't eat anything, no snacks overnight, you don't eat anything until the next morning, and then have your breakfast at 7 a.m., you're able to give yourself a 12-hour window where your digestive system is able to rest and recover. Then you can work toward stretching that evening meal a little bit earlier in the day and that first meal a little bit later in the morning. And then you can increase that fasting window to the point that you get to where you are fasting for 16 hours. And a 16-hour fast with an 8-hour window of eating is probably the most common method of doing intermittent fasting and one that most people see a lot of success with. So I encourage you now to take this information, give it some thought, do a little bit more research yourself, and give it a try. Ease into it. That's how our family did it. We just kind of slipped into having breakfast a little bit later each day. We were already eating an early dinner, and before we knew it, we were fasting for 16 hours without any effort at all. And it's really been an easy transition. The most difficult thing probably has been the cutting out of evening snacks. And that still continues to be a struggle for us. But the benefits that we've seen from being able to be more alert and have more energy has helped me at least to be able to be there for the people that I love. So that is the biggest reason why I'm doing this, and the biggest reason why I'm working on my health is to be able to serve and to love the people in my life and to focus on the things that are most important to me. And encourage you to just try it. Give it a couple of weeks. See if you don't see some of the benefits that I shared. and I would love to hear about any others that you have as well. Hope you guys have a great day, and we'll catch you on the next one.